the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches, there's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside, every man is destined for his hour.
On feeling goods where all of your cash went, not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringe.
You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. What's up, people? Coming off of pundits right now, so I'm always running late on my 12 noon shows on Fridays. So, what's going on? I mean, we have the GDP just got reported growing at 4.1%. People actually, I expected it to be higher than that, but over 4%, that's like amazing. Thank you, Mr. President. Right? So that's the big news, that the economy is, it's just like growing exponentially. It just keeps growing under Donald Trump. And, I wonder what the Democrats are going to be able to do for the midterm election, because they have to actually fight against this economy. And I was looking at, what was it, the Gallup polls and all the polls that came out this week. And he's somewhere around 45%, anywhere from 43 to 46% he is, right? So, and it's interesting. You look at those polls where we'll take the Gallup one, which I think he's 45. And the polls, you say to yourself, well, he's not above 50%. He's not strong, which, by the way, Obama was somewhere like 47% at this time. So it's not like he's out of the ballpark with the Obama administration, especially when they're oversampling Democrats. They play around with the questions, right? So they'll ask questions like, do you agree with ripping children out of mother's hands, out of mother's arms? So when you're playing with the questions like that in these polls, you're never going to get a real answer. So if you ask the people, do you think that we should catch and release the people who come in illegally on the border, you'll get a more favorable, poll towards Trump. If you put in a poll, do you want to protect our borders? Of course, that'll be high also. But when you say, do you want to rip children out of mother's arms, it distorts the poll. And then the media runs with that as if he's losing on border security, which, by the way, he's actually doing very well. He should be doing better on that number too. But like I said, they distort the question, so you get distorted poll numbers. If you look at how he's doing in the economy and in border security and all of that, he's around 55, 56%, which is an awesome number. So, and you have to ask yourself, what are the Americans that are going to go out and vote in their local elections? What are they going to be looking at? Are they going to be looking at the economy roaring and just exploding and having more jobs than individuals to fill those jobs? And you saw what happened yesterday with he had that meeting at that steel company, and you saw people, even at NBC had an interview where a guy was crying. He had been unemployed for 2.5 years, and then Trump comes and he has a spectacular job. And those jobs, I think they were saying they average somewhere around $80,000 to $100,000 a year. So, I mean, it's amazing what he's doing. And if people are voting based on the economy, you can't deny that Trump has done a spectacular job. Now, if you're going to vote based on a question that says, do you want to continue ripping kids out of mother's arms, then you get a skewed poll. But, that's exactly what the media did during the 2016 elections. Think about that, right? So that's exactly what they did. They went and they wrote these poll questions. So they make the poll numbers come in at a low rate. But then what they didn't poll was how many people wanted change, how many people wanted to move away from Obama. And when you looked inside the poll numbers during the Obama years, you would always see that his approval rating was high. But when you looked at the wrong direction number, he was always failing in that number. It was in the 60s, high 60s sometimes, that the nation was going in the wrong direction. So people loved Obama. Hi, Addie Nunez. So people loved Obama, and his favorability would be around 50. But then you would go to that right direction, wrong direction number, and he would always lose there. The nation was going in the wrong direction, right? So there's many ways to look at these polls, and that's why the Democrats failed in that election, because they were actually being misled also by the media. And I think the media is doing a bad job again, because if you have Trump at 45%, with all of this media bias and even the bias in the polls, if he comes out at 45%, it really means he's at around 50, 52%. You have to, I would say their margin of error is always from 1 to 3% or something like that. I think their margin of error should be like 7%, because they are completely wrong. And I think they're getting their numbers wrong. Like the Democrats or the media, I say the Democrats because the media, Democrats, what's the difference? The media is just a propaganda arm of the Democrats. So they got the polling wrong in the election, and Democrats should be worried that they're going to get it wrong again. When you look at those poll questions and the way they're written, they're biased questions. And he's still coming out at 45%. You guys should be worried. And then I'm looking at, I was looking at CNN this morning. I'm surprised that CNN doesn't have better ratings, because if there's anybody like me who actually watches CNN just to disagree with CNN or just to see what the lunatics are talking about, right? So I know if CNN has it, I know that I'm coming to work to discuss it, because the lunatics are just going to regurgitate what CNN is saying. But so CNN, Michael Cohen is now saying that Trump knew about the meeting with the Russian lawyer that Donald Trump Jr. had. Now, it's interesting, right? Because now they're believing Michael Cohen. If you remember, when Michael Cohen was Trump's lawyer, he was a sleazebag, not really a lawyer, and everything they said about Michael Cohen, right? And now they're believing Michael Cohen, who's desperate and who's a known liar and who has come out and said already that Trump didn't know about that. So now, is he lying now or was he lying then? You know, so as CNN puts all its eggs in these baskets, and it turns out that they're wrong most of the time, right? And then they're calling Trump a liar. Oh, he lies. You know, he's lied thousands of times since he's been president and all of this. And it's interesting to look at things that way. It's interesting to look at things that way. Trump is the biggest the most lying president we've ever had. And I don't remember them doing a story like this about Obama. I don't remember the media worried about Obama saying for hundreds of times, if you want your health care plan, you could keep your health care plan. If you like your doctor, you could keep your doctor. I don't remember them actually doing stories on this and worried about how many times Obama lied. Oh, during the Benghazi attacks in Benghazi, that they killed our ambassador. And Obama, Susan Rice, Hillary Clinton, for at least 2 weeks, we're blaming it on this video, went and arrested the guy who created a YouTube video who didn't have any views until Obama mentions it. You know, and I don't remember the media worried about Obama lying so much. But I'm going to play some music. I'll be right back, and I'll play a little compilation of Mr. Barack Hussein Obama actually lying a little bit. All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news, breaking it in half with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. That's gonna problem. It's gonna real problem. It's gonna real big problem. Leaving on my green, just minding my shit. The lights in the mirror, seatbelt went click. I'm innocent, my papers legit. And what's it gonna stop if it's giving me shit? Come on! He's walking to my door, tapping on my glass, telling me his reasons for what he called fast. Doesn't matter, got no time to stress. It's about that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real. My brain just minding my shit, so the lights in the mirror, seatbelt went click. Come on! I'm innocent, my papers legit, but that wasn't gonna stop him from giving me shit. He's walking to my door, tapping on my glass, telling me his reasons for what he called fast. Doesn't matter, got no time to stress. Can somebody be my witness? Frustrated, irritated while I'm sitting in court looking at the jury, feeling no support. My lawyer telling me to take plea. I can see the judge's eyes saying I should agree, but that's gonna be a problem.
That's gonna be
A real big problem.
Come on, that's gonna be a
Problem.
Hey!
That's gonna be a real big problem. Left my girl home, now I'm rolling on my own. No shame that I pregame, secrets how to save. That's just how I do, and my friends do. But now I'm clubbing like a fool.
Come on!
Supermodel shaped like a Coke bottle. Killer smile like a style, all the fellas going wild. Let's connect, I protect what she expect. This is something I regret. From my pocket, she's a threat. Here she comes.
Hey, what's up?
What you think? Did she just wink? Stay focused. What's your name?
Buy me a drink?
That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. Real big problem. Real big problem.
Hey!
Real big problem. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem.
WNHHLP
Be a problem.
103.5 FM New Haven.
Big problem. Owe me money. Hot for me. Wanna ride? Broke food. Pay for dinner. Now you mad? Accent, fake people, that's gonna be a problem.
Hey, that's gonna be a
Real big problem. That's
All right, you're listening to breaking news, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media in half with Harry, aka the Brave. All right, let's listen to some of Obama's lies, right? That people like to ignore, but I want everybody to listen right now. Let's listen to Obama, who everybody claims is like a saint. I think Pope, whatever his name is gonna make him a saint. But let's listen.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. I'll make our government open and transparent so that anyone can ensure that our business is the people's business. And as president, I'm going to make it impossible for congressmen or lobbyists to slip pork barrel projects or corporate welfare into laws when no one's looking. Because when I'm president, meetings where laws are written will be more open to the public, no more secrecy. That's a commitment I make to you as president. When there's a bill that ends up on my desk as president, you, the public, will have 5 days to look online and find out what's in it before I sign it. When there are meetings between lobbyists and a government agency, we'll put as many of those meetings as possible online for every American to watch. When there's a tax bill being debated in Congress, you will know the names of the corporations that would benefit and how much money they would get. And we will put every corporate tax break and every pork barrel project online for every American to see. You will know who asked for them, and you can decide whether your representative is actually representing you.
Not negotiating behind closed doors, but bringing all parties together and broadcasting those negotiations on C-SPAN so that the American people can see what the choices are. Because part of what we have to do is enlist the American people in this process.
These negotiations will be on C-SPAN. And so the public will be part of the conversation and will see the choices that are being made.
We will work on this process publicly, streaming over the net.
I'm in this race to tell the lobbyists in Washington that their days of setting the agenda are over. They will not work in my White House. It's when lobbyists set the agenda, and that's why they won't drown out your voices anymore when I am president of the United States of America. Having inherited a $1 trillion deficit that will take a long time for us to close, we need to focus on what we need to move the economy forward, not on what's nice to have. And that's why on Monday I held a fiscal summit to come up with a plan to put us on a more sustainable path. And that is why, as we develop a full budget that will come out this spring, we're going to go through our books page by page, line by line, to eliminate waste and inefficiency. We have already identified
we could go on forever because he just lied and lied and lied. He was going to use a scalpel on the budget. You know, Barack Obama was the liar in chief, and people want to point out everything wrong that President Trump does. But let's keep listening a little bit.
You are a family making less than $250,000 a year. You will not see your taxes go up. I am not an ideologue. I'm not. Pay for what we spend by the middle of the decade. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period. If you've got health insurance, you like your doctor, you like your plan, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan.
No matter what you've heard, if you like your doctor or health care plan, you can keep it.
For the first time in more than a decade, imports accounted for less than half of what we consumed.
Job growth was...
All right. I can't keep doing that because it's hundreds. Just this is just one compilation of it. He lied so much. The problem is that people were in love with his voice, right? So it's like I was talking to a communist friend earlier this week, and he's, "Did you hear Obama's speech this weekend?" And I'm like, "Yeah. What happened?" "Oh, we missed him so much. He just uplifted our souls." And I'm like, "Well, what? He changed your life with that speech?" So you were more impressed by Obama's words than his actions for 8 years? And that's it. The left was so in love with the way Obama spoke, and he uplifts me. It's just insane. I laughed in that person's face and he was insulted, but it's like, he's like, "Why are you laughing?" I'm like, because the only thing that mattered to you are words. The only thing that matters to you are words. So it doesn't matter that we have more jobs than people applying for jobs, right? It doesn't matter that we are actually now getting less people coming through our borders, right? It doesn't matter that Trump is actually getting deals done with the rest of the world, making fairer deals for the Americans. You know? And no, because it doesn't matter because of the way he says it, right? "Oh, he shouldn't be so mean when he's talking to our friends. You know, he shouldn't demand fairness from our friends. He's so mean." And it's like, wait a minute. So when Obama said everyone should pay their fair share, you guys thought, "Oh, how wonderful." When Trump says it's time for people to start paying their fair share, why does he have to say it like that? It's so mean. That's the delusion. And I was trying to explain to him how he has Trump derangement syndrome, right? So he was telling me the other day how he's a dictator. He's demanding that North Korea live up to their agreement. He was telling me, he's not a king. He's not the dictator of the world. And I'm like, wait, you guys are upset if he makes a deal. You guys are upset if he doesn't make a deal. You guys are upset if they live up to their deal. You guys are overjoyed if they don't live up to the deal, but then complain about it, saying, "You see, he doesn't know how to make a deal." But when he's trying to force people to live up to the agreements that they made with him, or that they made with us, the United States, or he's trying to make a better deal because other nations have been taking advantage of us, you guys are upset about that. But Obama giving 150, what was it, 1.5 billion to Iran, a terror state, the number one funder of terror in the world. Iran, who's sending bombs and stuff to Hezbollah to shoot into Israel, and everybody's okay with that, right? Everybody knew that Iran was actually going to take that money and invest it in terror. And nobody saw a problem with it. But Trump telling Iran to get its act together because they're going to start feeling the squeeze. Oh, he's a dictator. Why should other nations have to listen to him? You know, you guys are confused. And by the way, when Trump is being mean with Iran, they're being mean to Russia. Iran is Russia's ally. When he's being mean to Syria, he's being mean to Russia. So when Trump actually lived up to Obama's red line and bombed Syria, he was being mean to Russia. I think everybody needs to take a breath and look at the facts. Trump is doing a spectacular job. Spectacular job. All right, we'll be right back. You're listening to Breaking News with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Ride around that rocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Ride around that rocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. I said big change my pocket. Boy, no, you can't stop me. Boy, no, you can't stop me. Boy, no, you can't stop me. Big change my pocket. Boy, no, you can't stop me. Boy, no, you can't stop me. Boy, no, you can't stop me. I lean on the scene, they can't stop it. Got time on my hands like a watches. Hours and minutes diminish regardless. Getting the feeling, they feeling they godless. Debris in the air and it's garbage. See me, I'm getting them dollars. Taking it, piling it high like it's notches. Getting it, stretching it out like it's mozzarella. However, my fellas will hover. Whoever will step in the casa with the intention of being a monster. Thinking they frank, but really they hostas. They feeling the rain on the ponchos. They messing around with these honchas. They shelter the air like a conscience. That's what the meaning of wearing a conscience. Hey. In process, yeah, they tryna keep up with their copy. They tryna beat us with their classes, yeah. Really can't see, give them classes. Leaving them brainless as hostage, yeah. I flick them and hit them and clip them and box them. Leaving them dying, I'm out in the ocean. Saying I'm dead, they apostle. I burn them, they dread it like bosses, yeah. They see it how I wanna do it. That's how I'm flipping for profits, yeah. Ride around that rocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Ride around that rocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. I said big change my pocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Big change my pocket. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. Boy, no, you can't stop it. I be riding around in that rock, yeah. Soaked up in the cockpit. That meaning I'm so clean, and boy, you can't wash it. All that they do is just gossip. Boy, you better watch it, cause them shells be coming out like pasta out of boxes. Yeah, no money they're making, that's nonsense.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News. All right, so it's interesting with this 4.1% GDP growth that was just announced for the last quarter. It's interesting because Obama was having difficulty getting 2% GDP growth. And actually, the Obama administration told us that 2% GDP is the new norm. And it's, the reason they said that is because they didn't know how to get the GDP higher. And remember, Obama did not know what he was doing when it came to the economy. And I'll prove that right now. Let's listen to this.
Make sure that folks are trained for the jobs that are coming in now, because some of those jobs of the past are just not going to come back. And when somebody says, like the person you just mentioned, who I'm not going to advertise for, that he's going to bring all these jobs back. Well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do? There's no answer to it. He just says, well, I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how exactly are you going to negotiate that?
Remember that.
Companies are not going to leave the United States anymore without consequences. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Masa of SoftBank from Japan, and he's just agreed to invest $50 billion in the United States and 50,000 jobs. And he's one of the great men of industry, so I just want to thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we just had some very good news because of what's happening and the spirit and the hope. I was just called by the head people at Sprint, and they're going to be bringing 5,000 jobs back to the United States. They're taking them from other countries. They're bringing them back to the United States.
What magic wand do you have?
Pfizer and Corning. These three companies are announcing that pharmaceutical glass packaging will now be made in America. Very pleased to announce that the great company, ExxonMobil, is going to be investing $20 billion in the Gulf Coast and the Gulf Coast region. It'll be 45,000 jobs, and they're great jobs, $100,000 average.
What magic wand do you have?
pleased to announce that Foxconn, a world leader in manufacturing for computers, communications, and consumer electronics, one of the truly great companies of the world, will build a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility for the production of LCD panel products in Wisconsin.
No, I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how exactly are you going to negotiate that?
We're thrilled to welcome Broadcom Limited and its CEO, Hock Tan, to the White House to announce that Broadcom Limited is moving its headquarters from Singapore back to the United States.
All right, I'm gonna cut into it because this could go on all day. They're announcing companies coming back to America, manufacturing coming back. Trump has the highest growth in manufacturing that you've seen in like 40, 50 years, right? So now, I understand Obama didn't know what he was doing, right? So he had no clue. He's like, what magic wand do you have? How are you going to do that? And Trump is showing him how he's doing it. And it's what, a year and a half in? A year and a half in? And we're growing? Unemployment is down dramatically. I mean, everybody's working. It's not, everybody's working. Hispanics, blacks, whites, everybody is working now. We have millions of people less people on welfare. We have millions of less people on food stamps. So I mean, Trump, if you got to look at all these measures, all the metrics that I've been saying. If you look at what's happening, less people on welfare, less people on food stamps, more people on payrolls. How could you deny that he's doing a great job? Of course, here in New Haven, we're suffering, right? But it's because we're run by people who don't know what they're doing. People who are more interested in giving you free stuff than actually growing this economy so you're able to earn what you get and be happy. Right? But they give you free stuff until it runs out, then they close your schools, they close this, they close that, they take it away from you. Right? It's called socialism, people. Look at Venezuela. That's what the Democrats want for America. Right? All right. Let me just play a clip from yesterday. People who were there to see Trump in Granite City. Well, let's listen.
So why are you here today?
We are here to support our president, President Trump.
And why is it important to you to support President Trump?
Oh, we think he's an amazing president. He's doing a wonderful job. He's put up my husband back to work and all these other, 800 steel workers here in Granite City, right? Yeah. We're very proud.
How long was your husband out of work for?
Maybe 16 months.
And so he came back after President Trump became president. He came back to work.
After he was elected. Yes. As soon as he was elected, my husband was able to go back to work.
And anything else you want to tell me about President Trump's visit here?
Well, we're very excited. We are so excited we couldn't wait. So yes, this is a big supporter here. Yes, very excited.
All right, so. And I could play like another 5 of those that I have of people overjoyed with their jobs coming back. Some people unemployed for almost 3 years and now employed at the steel plant. And the owner actually coming out and saying there's not enough people. They can't get, this is the interesting part because he was on, I think it was on Fox this morning, the owner of this plant, saying that he can't get enough people. He doesn't have enough skilled people to come in and work. And his biggest problem is getting the young people to want to come in and actually earn a good day's pay. Right? And oh my God, I felt so sad listening to that, because knowing how the youth are these days, and they expect to be given everything, right? Because my generation, and I thank God both my kids work hard. They're both hard workers. But my generation, and I did spoil them too, my generation has spoiled the youth so badly that they're scared of work. They're entitled. They think they deserve to have everything they want and need. And they don't think that earning it is the key to getting everything you want and need. So he was saying, that they're looking to hire another 500 people, and it's difficult because there's more jobs than people willing to work, or eligible. Right now, more jobs than people eligible to work. But I think the reason is because there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines who have been complacent for the last 8 years and have been taken care of. And they forgot what it is to put in a hard day's work and earn your keep. So, but Trump is bringing that back too. So, making America great again. All right, let's play a little more music and I'll be right back. Come on. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely. Breaking the News with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
He like dying and you ain't got that beef, still clapping, friggin' fine. All I hear is sirens. Pray I ain't taking another loss. Life came with a course and we all pay it. Names engraved, claim the graves that we laying. They gon' tell you they love you, won't tell you when they was hating. And them saying again that's gon' fake it until they make it. The rest of us out here gon' get it, cause we gon' take it. Don't tell me what you got, tell me how you got it. That ain't the life you live, so how you figure you bought it. I'ma be real till I die. You say the same and I doubt it. You let the hype gas you up. I'm hot regardless without it. Never been the type to brag, but I got this in the bag. And I'm trying, boy, to go for it. I just shit never had. Give my dad a bigger crib, mama better way to live. My sister's the comfortability of not needing these niggas. Build me a house up on the mountain or some issue. Make it see through just to walk around but naked in that bitch. I deserve it. All the time I put in, hustling and grinding for ends, can't tell me I don't deserve it. All the time I put in, hustling and grinding for ends, can't tell me I don't deserve it. For every time I fought tears, feeling alone all these years, fighting and facing my fears, can't tell me I don't deserve it. All the time I fought tears, feeling alone all these years, fighting and facing my fears, can't tell me I don't deserve it. For every night I stayed up with a pain in my gut, cold wind in my strut, don't know where I'm going, but I'm going and I ain't looking back. Could only blame myself, thinking only if I could've took it back. I've been stupid, I've been foolish, but I'm growing, show improvement. If I got something to prove, then I'm proving it to myself. Then no matter how hard it get, I'ma play the cards that I dealt. Go hard for what I felt, but I'm feeling like killing everything in my path. Don't nothing last too long, even the pain stay strong till I'm under the grave and gone. Gotta get right for every time I did wrong. For every night I sat up like the up descended all. Got up from A4, standing tall, never gave up. Leave it to them to try to make it seem like they made us, cause they be showing love to disguise the fact that they hate us. Been in the game too long, nerve of them to try to play us. MVP most valid position, I'm comfortable wherever they couldn't fit in. You could have all the riches and be dead broke and need a fixin'. Tell me what's your intentions, why they try to change sneakers, I'm trying to change the conditions. I deserve it. All the time I put in, hustling and grinding for ends, can't tell me I don't deserve it. All the time I put in, hustling and grinding for ends, can't tell me I don't deserve it. For every time I fought tears, feeling alone all these years, fighting and facing my fears, can't tell me I don't deserve it. All the time I fought tears, feeling alone all these years, fighting and facing my fears, can't tell me I don't deserve it. I deserve it. Can't tell me I don't deserve it. I deserve it.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry K. the Brave. Hey, Mary and Serto, Tomlin, hello. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. All right, let's go to the New York Times. Remains of 55 U.S. war dead in North Korea start journey home from after 65 years. Yeah, you remember when Trump made this deal? He met with Kim Jong-un, right? He met with Kim Jong-un and they worked all of this out, and the people are like, oh, they didn't really make a deal. Nothing's happening. Nothing's going on. They blow up a nuclear site. They're taking down a missile site that they use, that they've been testing all those rockets that have been flying over Japan. We don't believe anything's happening. Even though there's stuff happening right in front of their face, right in front of their eyes. The only reason is because, you see, with the economy, they try to give credit to Obama. With everything that's happening, they go, yeah, well, Obama started it, or Trump is just finishing what Obama started. Never mind that he's changed all the policies, that he's eliminated, thousands of policies that Obama put in that was actually holding back the economy. And now the economy is growing because those policies are gone. Right? So anyway, they can't take any credit for this. They can't even, bring Obama into the North Korea thing. They can't give him any credit. So they try to take all the credit from Trump. And it's, I don't think they're going to do this. And I hear this all the time because I'm in a constant debate with the Democrats here who don't like my hat. In Connecticut, in New Haven especially, right? I work with, what is it? It's like 99%. Well, there's nobody else who's a conservative here where I work. So anyway, Trump is fulfilling one of his promises, right? That he said this was going to happen, that they had agreed to it. And now people should be happy about that. Be happy that our soldiers who died in war are coming home to be put to rest where their families want them to be put to rest, right? So, good Trump. Thank you, Mr. President. All right, let's move on to another New York Times article. How Trump won re-election in 2020. Now, this is a nice article. I can't believe the New York Times actually put this article up there, right? Because I'm sure there's people in agony right now that their fake paper of record is actually saying that Trump is going to win in 2020. But let's read. November 4, 2020. In the end, the bitterly fought election came down to the old political aphorism popularized during Bill Clinton's successful 1992 run against George H.W. Bush. It's the economy, stupid. This time, however, it was the Republican incumbent, not his Democratic challenger, who benefited from that truism. Donald J. Trump has been decisively reelected as President of the United States, winning every state he carried in 2016 and adding Nevada. I'm sorry. I hope this comes true, right? But I'm sure it has to be driving Democrats crazy. I haven't discussed this article with some of my Democrat friends, but I am loving it, right? Donald J. Trump has been decisively reelected as President of the United States, winning every state he carried in 2016 and adding Nevada, even as he once failed, albeit narrowly, to gain a majority of the popular vote. Extraordinary turnout in California, New York, Illinois, and other Democrat basins could not compensate for the president's abiding popularity in the states that still decide who gets to live in the White House: Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Florida. And there you go, right? And I think this is prophetic here. I think this is exactly what's going to happen, because Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Florida are flourishing under President Donald J. Trump, right? And the biggest problem is, and I'm glad the way they wrote it here is perfect, because this is something that I'm constantly telling my Democrat friends. This is the biggest thing, right? Trump may lose the popular vote, but do you really want California, New York, and Illinois deciding who? Do you want 3 states deciding who your president is? Do you really want the East Coast and the West Coast deciding who the next president is? It does not work like that. This is why the Electoral College is so brilliant. You cannot allow population centers like California and New York decide what how middle America lives. And I hear this all the time. I still hear it regurgitated in the news. Trump didn't win the popular vote. Oh, but he didn't win the popular vote. People who know that we don't have that type of system, we don't have a popular vote system, we have an electoral system, continue to say that Trump is almost invalidated because he didn't win the popular vote. When he won, look, Hillary won by 2.9 million votes. Something like that. 3 million votes, right around there. And that's almost exactly what she won California by. So do you really want the extra 3 million people voting in California to decide who the president of the United States is? It's time for people to wake up. Stop being so naive. Hillary Clinton won California. She didn't win the popular vote. She won the popular vote in California. Who cares? Now you look at the rest of the country, and Trump wins. All right. I got to get out of here. You know, you guys have a wonderful weekend. I love doing this show. Please go. If you're on the Facebook page now, like, share, follow, share. I want my voice to get out there. All right, people. It's been fun. You've been listening to breaking news, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media in half with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches. There's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside. Every man is destined for his power.
On feeling goods where all of your cash went, not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind gotta reach in it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his worth is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement, move towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, it ain't hard to figure out. Why? Oh, why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles you'll find along the road, you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic friend.
YouTube channel at SpideyGirls/Bella. You are listening to WNAH LP 103.5 FM, New Haven, Sleeming Ride. On Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, follow us. And yeah,